Hey guys, welcome back. Bolt Spider here, and I'm with my Orcust deck list. But before we get on to the Orcust deck list, I'm going to make a special announcement about the hunt for the Prismatic IP Masquerade. I made a Twitter post about it a few days ago on Friday, and it has been finished. There's going to be no more openings for the set. Now, the reason being is because of, well, I pulled the Prismatic IP Masquerade at my locals, and sadly, that caused the series to come to a close, and you guys didn't have my official reaction to it. So I'm sorry about that. But let's get into this special deck profile for my Orcust deck, because I've been piloting the deck since Dingrisu came out. So that means Rusty Bardiche, double, triple negate. And that was a hell of a format to play in. So let's get right into it. First off, we have the Orcust monsters. If I can't drop the cards, I'm running 3 Orcust Harp Horror. Harp Horror is the main driving point of the deck because it starts all like your Orcust plays, since you can go Mathematicians, Armageddon Knight, send this, banish it to summon your Orcust Nightmare. In the OCG, they recently hit this card to 2 for consistency issues, or to help with consistency to slow down the deck. It was actually a very smart move for them to do that. I could see them following suit with a couple other cards over here to slow down the deck, but like keep them at a good pace until the next list that just wipes all the current meta decks. Next, I'm running 3 Orcust Nightmare. Orcust Nightmare is the Foolish Burial for Dark Machine type monsters. This card is actually quite good, but you need all the other Orcust cards to make the deck work. With Orcust Nightmare, I use it for not really utility sake, I use it for combo sake by sending like my skeleton, my wand, or my harp horror when I need it. Then, after Nightmare, we have our 2 symbol skeletons. I feel like this card is mandatory of being at 2, since it's actually a very good card. Sorry about that. Skeleton is a good card in my opinion because it lets you recur so much, but for the price of locking you into dark monsters. Overall, I think my favorite Orcust of the bunch is Skeleton, because he has so much versatility of what you can summon back, while Harp and Nightmare don't really have that many options to choose from. And alongside all these Orcust monsters, I am running the one World Wand. This card is great to bring back your Dark Machine type monsters that are banished, well, Orcust monsters that are banished. And it's just there. It is a card that can help you in certain situations. And that's my Orcust engine. I don't run Brass because I don't see the point of running it just yet, since Needle Fiber isn't out and I'm waiting for that to run Brass. Sure, it's a summon from hand and it can unbrick you, but I don't see the need for it right now in the current game. Whereas in 3 months, we can use it to its full potential with Needle Fiber comboing off into a lot of other things. So I still run a certain engine that not really many people run, which is the Danger Package. I run 2 Nessie, 2 Snack, and 1 Jackalope. I run these because it's like they're extenders. I like them because I think of them as extenders and they can plus when they want to, or they can help you go into a lot of other things. Because when I was testing against my friend, or at my locals, playing against my friends, and sorry if you hear coughing in the background because people don't like to shut up. He ban I go to send my skeleton, my Harp to Grave while I had a Mathman. He DD Crows me. I summon out Jackalope, and he said something that you'll see in my extra deck, like, oh, are you going to make this on me? And I'm like, only if I had it. So that gave me the incentive to keep the dangers. Would I bump Jackalope up to 2? No. Jackalope is my least favorite one to use, and Snake and Nessie are my favorites because with Nessie it deck thins, and with Snake you always get a free body. With Jackalope it's the same with Snake, but and I just don't really like seeing multiples of Jackalope. And I run dangers are there to help with consistency, even though I have a lot of consistency cards in the deck and I could take them out for the Striker engine, but I tried the Striker engine, I don't like it. And then next we have our starter cards, 3 Mathematician, 1 Armageddon Knight, and 1 of Dark Gripper. Essentially running 5 Armageddon Knights is pretty good in a deck, or even running multiple copies of Foolish Burial. And I'm just gonna pull this card out now because I run 1 Foolish Burial already. So having essentially 6 Foolish Burials in a deck is pretty good. As sure, Mathman only says level 4 or lower, and Armageddon Knight and Dark Gripper say any level, but you have to either normal summon to send a Dark, or you have to discard a level 7, actually level 5 or higher, or straight up normal summon it and discard, which this actually is worse in some situations than Armageddon Knight, as you need the card to discard for both effects. And then Foolish Burial is a great, it's just great well around because all your Orcusts function in the graveyard, and if your opponent stops you from using the graveyard for a turn, it's hard to play the deck. And then other monsters I run 2 Pankratops. Such a good card. I really enjoy this card, and it definitely helps push for game. And a hand trap everyone's running, 2 DD Crow. DD Crow is such a great hand trap. This card won me so many games because you just pitch it. If they go engage, get the drone, activate drone, and then they go Kagari, effect, target, engage. You chain it, and they lose their target. So they're kind of just stopped in their tracks from getting more advantage on you than what they could have done. Like we've seen at YCS's on stream, people drawing like 8-9 cards in a turn because of engage and drawing into other draw cards. And that's actually a good segue because I run so many draw cards. I run 3 Allure of Darkness, 3 Into the Void, and 3 Orchestrated Return. Allure of Darkness is a great staple card in this deck because the whole deck is dark outside like the Pankratops and the Mathmans. So 99% of the time Allure of Darkness is live. Into the Void is live when like first turn always, and Orchestrated Return is usually live if you draw into a Orcus monster alongside of it that can actually help you go up through your play for the turn. And I really love this draw lineup. Only thing that I would change, I would take this out, one of these out for an Upstart Goblin, or even take out an Orcus Nightmare for an Upstart Goblin, because having so much draw power, I feel like it's needed right now to keep up. And like the staple ones that people are running are Into the Void and Upstart Goblin. Into the Void is so great for decks that rely on the graveyard, because at the end of the turn you just pitch your hand. If you have like 3 Orcus in hand, you activate it, draw, do what you can, whatever Orcus is in your hand, end phase, discard it all. And it's super good, as it can let you get so much advantage for like the next turn. Next, we have 3 Call by the Grave. Such a great card. And 3 Mind Control. People are siding Mind Control. I prefer to main it because Mind Control is a very good card. You could bait out like negations if they have if you know that they have a crescendo set. You can bait it out with this by taking their Link Master, and either they have to respond with crescendo or just let you have it, so their crescendo becomes useless. Call by the Grave is always great because hand traps will always be relevant in the game, so I don't see the need of taking it out or putting in the side deck, because most of the time I run into decks that main hand traps that I could Call by the Grave. Next, we have my one tech choice in the deck being Monster Reborn. This card is so great. I enjoy this card so much. It could help push for games and a lot of other things. And next, the card that people say that it should be banned, which is Babel. Babel is a great key card because if you look back in the past, we used to go Bardiche with a Dingirisu. Actually, no, Bardiche Galatea, 2 Fog Blade, and a Crescendo. And people said, oh, Crescendo needs to get hit. It's the same mentality, because after the Bardiche hit, we used to just go Galatea set Crescendo. And people were like, oh, this card needs to get hit. It's the same mentality of Crescendo with Babel. If you hit Babel, it kills the deck's interactions during the opponent's turn. This deck was made to interact during your opponent's turn, and people kind of forget about that aspect of the deck. If you hit one piece of the group, the group just flat out fails. Like, if you slowly hit them down, like what they do, like what they were doing with Sky Striker, they're gonna get weaker and weaker. Then they can easily power creep them. And I see that's what they're gonna do with Orcust. That's what I feel, because in this state of game, they're hitting the decks as much as they can without hurting the chances of it being successful for like how long Sky Striker's been around for almost 2 years. They just hit the wrong aspects of what needs to get hit. But in my opinion, with the deck, I think they should just hit Galatea and hit Harp, the two most the consistency points of the deck, because Harp gets you the combo and Galatea gets you the cards. If you like semi-limit them, you see less of it and have more of a chance of it getting negated. Like 9 times out of 10, your Galatea will get negated if they have the impermanence or effect veiler. And to be honest, I don't think Babel's really the problem. It is more of Galatea and Harp Horror. But enough on that, let's get to the extra deck. For the XYZ monsters, I'm playing 2 Dingirisu, Orcust of the Evening Star. This card is one of my favorite XYZs of the decade. Other favorite XYZs of the decade are things pretty much like Silent Honor Arc, because that card's actually still pretty good. Even with the new Master Roll coming back, it's still good. Ragnar Zero is another good one. Even Zodiac Dryden was one of my favorite XYZs, because they all had interactions. This card has 2 interactions, and it has built-in protection, which I still think it shouldn't have gotten the interaction. Actually, the protection of your cards. And being at not once per turn, that does a lot. It should have been once per turn, and it's kind of unfair. And then back to the point that I made where I almost on Mathematician, sent my Harp, my friend DD crowed my harp, and I summoned out a danger, and he was like, "Oh, do you have Levy the Sea Dragon?" Levy the Sea Dragon it is such a great card. I have the open room to do a lot of the things I play because I don't really care for most, like 90% of meta choices. Levy the Sea Dragon actually helps me so much bring back combo pieces after combo pieces. Like I could bring back my skeletons, my harps. I can, if I run brass, I can even run that and get that back. Or even if I banish my Armageddon Knight, I can bring that back and combo off. The card is still good, and in the new Master Rule, it's gonna be better because you don't have to worry about a link arrow. I could just go Levier here, Jingrisu on the other side. And this is going to be a side deck staple, actually an extra deck staple for me from April on, because it's a great card. Next, we have the generic links: 1 Boral Sword, 1 Zeravoros, and my other option for a link 4 being Unchained Abomination. Now, everyone knows about these. Unchained Abomination is such a great link monster that I think people should start picking up, because it's 2+ monsters including a link. Super easy to make. During the main phase, when a card is destroyed, destroy a card, except itself. Like, oh, you destroy my back row. Effect, destroy a card. During battle phase, if a monster is destroyed by battle, except this card, destroy a card. So I swing over your monster, effect, destroy. End phase, effect, destroy. It is 3 destructions per turn. And if people start utilizing this more, because currently we have about 4 months till the new Master Rules, these link arrows are pretty good, and it's super easy to make. I've made it so many times where this is on the board alongside with a Dingrisu. And that power is so good that it's like this is a staple till April 20th, because then I can flex my extra deck more to other options. Then a card I'm thinking of taking out, the BLS link. This card is great if you can make it. I could have made it against a Blackwing matchup because I had 6 level 7s on the field. Don't ask how. I just had that many on the field. And it was insane. Then we have the 1 Trisbania, and we have the 1 Nightmare Unicorn. I really love Unicorn. I've always loved it. Trisbania, I'm just testing out. I really haven't been seeing that many Sky Strikers because the deck is more of Orcust now. Let's get into the Orcust. We have 1 Longrisu and 3 Galatea. Galatea I see is the problem of the deck, where it sets everything, all your spells and traps. Longrisu, on the other hand, is not a problem because it has a heavier cost. What do I see getting hit? Galatea getting semi-limited. That makes the deck more skillful, and that means I could actually run a second Longrisu if I wanted to. But finally, for the final 2 cards of the deck, we have 2 IP Masquerena. Would I like to get another Prismatic? Yes, but that is so much money. I would rather buy a Max C for it, for the price. IP Masquerena is she's the best Link 2 in the game during interactions for your opponent's turn, because it's a quick effect Link summon. And to be honest, a lot of my plays won't be possible without it, because you can make Zeravoros, you can make Abomination, you can make Trisbenia on your opponent's turn, and it just shuts them down. And to be honest, I can't wait to see what they do to the deck, because so much can change within a month, because we're less than a month away from the next ban list. But I've ran out of time because I've been talking for too long. So if you guys did enjoy, please hit that like button down below. And if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe for future content as I upload every day at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But anyways, I've been Bolt Spider. See you guys in the next video, and goodbye.